What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to 50T5, where we bring local business owners, community champions, and all-around amazing individuals on the show to learn about them, their stories, or business in a quick and effective way. Usually that's the case. Today, it is just me. First solo episode of 5 with T5, 40-plus episodes in, and it's the first solo episode. And I was talking with our podcast director, Paige, who does a great job at, hey, let's have this person on. Let's have these conversations about something that we should do. And we talked about the idea of documenting the potential last episode before becoming a father. And so if nothing else, this is for selfish reason to document this, that maybe my kids someday will come back and look at this and learn about what Dad was going through when we were starting the business and when we were bringing them into the family. And so wanted to take a moment to talk to myself, talk to my family, talk to my future self and my future family. And hopefully, you know, if one person that's watching this can learn something from it, that's what it's all worth. First one thing I want to go over is we're a couple weeks out. We don't know what we're having. We're waiting to find out. At first, my beautiful wife, Mckayla, was like, I definitely want to wait. I definitely want to wait to find out the gender. And I just wasn't for it at first. I'm like, man, I don't know how long I can wait. I don't know if I can take that long. And I tell you now, waiting, it's been the coolest experience. I've been told from people that have waited that it's the best surprise you'll ever have in your entire life. And I'm looking forward to that in a few short weeks here. But I wanted to just share with you where my feelings are of what's going on. And we're almost 3 years into building T5 Insurance, which has been incredible. And to the fact that it's been 3 years already is one of the most incredible parts of the story. Time is a funny thing, man. I put a post on Facebook talking about time, and it was a photo of Mckayla and I getting proposed, and me proposing to Mckayla, and how many years ago that was, and how it seems like it was just yesterday. But time doesn't wait for any of us. Time doesn't wait for any of us. And it's been almost 3 years of starting this agency. So much has changed personally, professionally. We have staff now. We have a team. We have people that are excited to be a part of what we're trying to build here at T5 Insurance. And at the same time, I'm building my life. When I want to do it without my co-pilot, Mckayla, who has just been so supportive and there for me every step of the way. And now being able to build a business and build a life together simultaneously at the same time, it's a special feeling. It has its days. It's got its pros and cons. It's got its worries of financial worries of time commitment, but it's all worth it. It's an incredible feeling to wake up every morning and know that what you're working for is for yourself, and what you're working for is for the good of other people and the impact that we're trying to make. Our slogan that you probably heard throughout our social media channels of make an impact. And that's kind of what has really morphed into my personal mission in life through the business is just insurance. We do our best to set up the policies for our policy holders and our clients, and we do the best to educate them. But at the end of the day, we want to just make an impact and use T5 Insurance to be a vehicle through that and help that vehicle make an impact to not only our clients, but our community. So I'm super proud of what we built that far. And I hope someday that my future child is watching this is going to be proud of that. Fatherhood might change a lot, right? I mean, it might change the involvement with the community that we do and all of those things. But all I think about when I say that is how it's going to change things for the better. You know, I put a post out recently that I used to feel like I was the youngest guy in the room, and that's definitely changed over the last couple of years. But I used to, and still do, hear the stories of, oh, someday you'll understand. You know, someday when you have kids, you'll understand, or someday when your kids go to school, or someday when this and that. Well, that someday's coming up, and I'm excited for those changes. And the reason I share that with you is I've never felt more motivated before in my entire life than now. I talk to a lot of good friends and peers about the difference between motivation and discipline. You know, discipline is the difference of being motivated to do something and have that courage to do something, and those ebbs and flows of the motivation. But discipline is just knowing you have to do it. And I've just never had a feeling of being more disciplined and motivated at the same time, of the thought of now I'm providing for someone else, right? Now I'm providing for an additional member of our family. Now I'm providing for their future, but the pressure and the good pressure of being a role model. It's a wild thing. It's a wild concept. And, I hope a lot of people are watching this are clients and family friends that have been through that and can maybe share what that's like, or be a reminder of what that's like of being a role model to your future child. And it's something that when building T5 insurance, I never really thought about until now. I had to think about it, right? And so I want them to see how hard mom and dad work to build a great life for them. I want them to see what hard work means in doing the right thing. And I tell people all the time, you do those two things. You do your job, you work hard at it, and you do the right thing. You're going to be successful. You're going to have those opportunities. You're going to build those relationships. All of those things will fall into place. And I want to make sure that I do a job to instill that into my future child. So it's definitely changed. The feeling of success. What does success mean to me has changed. The feeling of what it'll be to run a business with a new baby. That's something that I think about a lot. Is a lot of people have said, well, are you nervous? And with my wife having a background in healthcare, I'm not nervous about that side of the house. I'm more nervous about the juggling of being a young entrepreneur in a young business that demands me have a lot of time involved at this point, and being a great kick-ass dad. That's what I'm nervous about, because being a great kick-ass dad is what's more important to me. 10 months ago, that wasn't the case. But they're both very important to me, and it's just finding that juggle, finding that mix, and finding the right balance with that. And I'm just excited to instill that and to continue to do what I feel that we do best here, of build community at T5 Insurance, do the right thing by our clients, but also bring that to home and morph a little human being, whatever, again, we don't know, boy, girl, whatever it might be, into that, and bring that into the world. So people ask me, like, what's your fears about being a father and all of that? And that's really it, is just, the balance. But I know we'll be able to figure it out, because 4 years ago, you said something about T5 to me, I would have thought you were crazy. We figured that out, right? There's been a lot of things that come to us inside of our lives that we have to figure out, because we have to figure out. I'm excited to see my wife as a mother. I'm really excited to see my wife as a mother, because I know how amazing she's going to do. And it's just going to be fun. I have tried to put out just a random post on social media once a weekend. I usually try to get a lot of early work done, and Saturday and Sunday mornings are my favorite time to wake up early and get some work done. And I'll just go back through my camera roll or something and find an old photo and share what that moment meant to be. But the purpose of that is to hopefully hit somebody, in the heart, hit somebody in the feels of understanding that time. For example, that post I put about time, that time is an inevitable clock that keeps on ticking each and every day. And what are we doing to truly maximize that amount of time? One of the things that I love about podcasts, and I have two podcasts, one that's in the insurance industry and one that you're watching right now, is that you can relate to it, and there's a few people inside of the insurance industry that I've heard say, well, another podcast? Do you think there's room for another podcast? And my answer is yes, every single time. And here's why. Everybody has a story. And not only does everybody have a story, and this is kind of a weird dynamic that I've never done before, of interviewing myself and just having an open conversation and recording it, but everybody has a story that deserves to be heard. And that's the most important thing. And so the more podcasts we have, the more conversations that we can have, and the ability that we have with technology now to just record that and send it out. That's the goal of what we're trying to do here at T5 Insurance. And frankly, that's the goal of what I wanted to do right now, is just take a few minutes of your time and record my story and talk to you about a big moment that's coming up into my life. And maybe you're relating with that. Maybe, you're going to be a new parent. Maybe you're a parent and listen to something that we're talking about here and take something back to what you're doing. But I just want to share that about podcasting. I just love the fact that everybody has a story, and everybody has a story that's meant to be heard. What I want to remember um, is documenting the journey. I think there's people can maybe look, oh, it's that insurance kid posting again, man. He posts every single day and he's got, the answers to this and that. And I never want to be misunderstood by that with the podcast, with our social media outreach. I just want to document the journey and I want to have fun doing it. And at the same time, we're showing our clients and our prospective clients that we are having fun doing it, that we're different in this sense, and that we're just sharing to the world the things that we've figured out or the things that we, have questions about or whatever, and just documenting the journey. But that's been the biggest goal with the podcast, is documenting journey, having amazing guests on, sharing amazing stories. I mean, think of it, up until you're watching this point now, we've had 40 different people on our show, 40 different stories, 40 different backgrounds, and 40 different amazing episodes that might hit you in 40 different ways in your life. Maybe there's something that we have somebody on and they talk about their childhood, and man, it just hits you right there, and it brings back a memory from your childhood or whatever that might be. So, the thing I just want to end with here is the relatability. Don't ever underestimate the relatability of storytelling. Don't ever underestimate the relatability of having a conversation. And all I want to do is provide an outlet for that for people. And today, frankly, I'm providing an outlet for myself. And I appreciate everybody who's been a part of this journey in whatever way, liking or sharing a social media post that has maybe got the T5 logo in front of one extra person that, learns about what we're trying to do, or supporting our family in whatever way it might be, or just supporting me. Entrepreneurship, give your friends a pat on the back who are entrepreneurs. Let me tell you, man, it's a lonely journey. It's hard. It's not easy. It's scary. It's unknown. It's insert any other word here. It's a tough thing, but I can tell you it takes a special person. And there's a lot of my friends and families who have been entrepreneurs. My own father, that has taught me so much about being an entrepreneur and what it's like to grow a family with a small family business and all of that, and all of those things that I look forward to instilling into my children. And it's just taught me so much. So give those entrepreneurs a pat on the back. And if that's you, give yourself a pat on the back, because you deserve it. Everybody, I'm going to stop rambling because I could just go on for on and on. I thought about this right now. I didn't give myself the 5 questions, but I think that there was enough there that gave you a little update of where we're at. And this could potentially be the last episode before I'm becoming a father. Someone else, I can't remember who said this to me the other day, was like, I can't wait for baby Turnbull to be in the hot seat someday. And as soon as they can talk, I can guarantee you we'll do that. But I appreciate each and every one of you. If you've taken the time to even listen to this up until this point of 13 minutes of me just blabbling on, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everything you've done to support our business, our small business, support our team, and just support the mission of making an impact in those lives that we serve in our community. So, Stephen Turnbull here with T5 Insurance. Remember, the power of connection and learning from one another is what makes our community thrive. But most importantly, remember to make an impact in someone's life today. We'll see you next week. Take care.